Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Million Dollar Media. I'm your host, Max Kellerholz, and with me today we have...
Nick Spiro.
And Adrian.
Alright, and today we're going to be talking about Sonic the Hedgehog 3. If I could compare this to anything, it's the little engine that could.
Yep, we can thank the community.
I guess we can kind of start by saying what's our history with Sonic. For me, I played a couple games. Never really beat any Sonic games just because I kind of got bored from them. But I really got into the Sonic X TV show. I really like Sonic Underground. And also a lot of the early age YouTube Gmod animations of Sonic characters. So I'd say that Sonic and his various different characters have always been an interest to me. But I kind of grew out of it once I kind of got into my teenage years. So I never really followed through on the franchise as much as others. So that's my history with Sonic.
So, a little bit similar. My experience video game wise with Sonic the Hedgehog all started with Sonic Rush on the Nintendo DS. That was my very first video game experience with him. I very much enjoyed that game. I played through that on every car ride, plane ride, everything that I could when I had my DS. And along with that, I also watched Sonic X and Sonic Underground, two amazing shows, great shows. Sonic X was probably one of my top shows. I didn't necessarily watch it in order, but I love the arcs that they did with Shadow in that show and everything. So that was like my best experience with it entirely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I played the side games as well. So I played all the Mario Sonic Olympic games, Smash Bros, all that stuff. Other than that, I really play the Sonic Adventure games and stuff until in the last 4 years, actually.
Really?
Oh, wow.
That was my real experience with the original Sonic.
Okay. For me, same as you, Nick. I started on Sonic Rush on the DS. That was my first experience with that. Sonic Black Knight, Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Colors.
Oh yeah, Sonic Colors, man.
The Olympic Games. I don't remember if I played Sonic Generations or I just watched the playthrough. And then my most recent one, I think, was Sonic Forces. And then TV show wise, Sonic X, Sonic Underground, and then a YouTube series called Super Mario Bros. Z. That is a long history of my Sonic knowledge and watching other things and lore stuff. I watched a couple of videos on the comics, so knowledge is there, but I haven't really kept up. But OG Sonic stuff, 2000, 2010s, I'm all in.
I did watch one video explaining how the guy who wrote some of the Sonic comics just kind of went insane with creating his own characters. It was just adding all this unnecessary lore to it. So I was just like, okay, that's kind of interesting.
And yeah, there are a lot of Sonic here.
Yeah, but that all goes to show what we brought into this particular movie, which I feel like out of all three of the movies, this one's more for the fans of Sonic. If you love a lot of that deep lore, this movie's more for you.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Sorry, it's no spoiler. Everyone knew this from the trailers and everything. This was based off of Sonic Adventures 2. Unfortunately, my only knowledge really from Sonic Adventures 2, I've never actually played the game. I only know the knowledge of it from the Snapcube dubs.
Yes.
Which is they're horrible but amazing at the same time.
Absolutely.
Who posted my nudes on Twitter.com?
With me, I have the same feelings after I watched the Super Mario Bros. Movie. This movie was for the fans, 100%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that being said, I think I said this off mic, but I wasn't a huge fan of this movie as other people were, especially like the group I saw this with. I think it was pretty 50-50 on people who liked it and people who were just kind of that was a movie.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, I won't say it's bad because I've definitely seen a lot worse recently, but it's made for fans who really grew up with a lot of Sonic stuff and for little kids.
I don't disagree with you in the fact that it's made for those two people. Yes, these movies, I mean, all three movies, I did a rewatch of all of them before I saw the new one.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, just the way that they do the jokes and they do the dances and stuff like that, the floss thing and everything.
Yeah.
Yes, it's for the kids, but I'd rather honestly have that than like this really, really gritty thing that's only made for adults.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
definitely know that it's that I'd rather it be this than whatever, yeah, as you said, like ultra gritty, realistic, hard boiled. Like I can't think.
I get it.
Like
And I feel like this movie actually
Hard
did
boiled.
a lot better than the other two, and having that balance there of a little grittiness with the storyline of Sonic Adventures 2,
mhm.
with the kid friendliness of what the franchise has been so far.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm a little bit confused on like some of the writing decisions, and I mean that's just me. And that like there's one moment in the film where they make a big deal about we cannot get through this force field no matter what. If we do, we're gonna disintegrate. And then all of a sudden, not only does Knuckles get through the force field, he ends up somehow in this vault where it almost just seemed like if they just broke down one wall, it would be right there. Because I didn't really see like outside that wall if there was like multiple floors he came down from. It just seemed like, well, they made such a big deal about getting into this place, and then he all of a sudden just kind of get in. There'd be little stuff like that throughout the film of just like little inconsistencies, but I'm like, is this just me, like being
That's
me?
just you. That's just you. You
But-
just overthought that whole process.
You know what? In a film that I cared more about, I would not have a problem with this. I don't know. I just didn't care for this film as much as like I wanted to.
Okay.
Like I think what really works for me, and I think that we could springboard off this, is I really like the shadow stuff.
Yes.
At first, the Keanu voice kind of took me out a little bit, just
Same.
because I was like, okay, I gotta rethink everything I know about this character and just imagine now with Keanu's voice. And I think the moments with him and Maria, that was the moment I was kind of getting on this film's side. I was like, okay, I kind of like this character, and this is kind of hooking me in. Because I could not really care that much about Team Sonic.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, at least it's not Chris Pratt. So
That's
there's
also
Yeah.
true.
Could be worse.
It could be worse. Even though I don't think he was
So-
terrible as Mario. But,
No,
No.
he wasn't.
but yeah, he could fuck off of being Garfield. Get the fuck out. No, yeah, I mean, we talked about Shadow a little bit. I kind of wanted to hear what you guys had to say about like Shadow. Like, what did you guys think of him in the film?
I absolutely loved how they portrayed him and showing that he is the complete opposite of Sonic's decision. It is beautifully written in that regard. From start to end, somewhat end, you can see how his choices made him different from Sonic when they both experienced the same thing. I think that was great. And then one of my favorite bits is when he turned Shadow into a horror villain. Like, I love that sequence so much. It's just funny, but just how he's written is just amazing. It's just a strong callback to Sonic Adventure 2. I just absolutely love how they were written. I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have to agree. Shadow in this was very well written. Keanu delivered the lines very well. I don't know how involved he was with, like, did he do the motion capture and stuff?
No.
Absolutely.
No.
I'm just curious because I mean, there's like people out there like Sean Gunn did like Rocket and stuff, so I wasn't sure.
I think they had a whole different like philosophy for this film. Like,
Yeah.
I know that behind the scenes, what they would do. I think I've seen some clips of what they did was like they would get the life size like.
Oh, that's right. They were like plush dolls, basically.
Yeah, they were basically like stiff plush dolls that would stand there. That'd be the same height as the character, so you could still get the same like how the light would hit certain areas. So, but I don't think you had Keanu on his knees talking to Jim Carrey.
Cool, but no, Keanu did really well. The chemistry between like the exchange of lines of the characters were really well.
Mm-hmm.
I like how, yes, like you said, they showed the alternative of what would happen if Sonic went bad instead of like stayed good.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that. The whole experience that they showed of him in the bunker, I love that. It just really kind of like made the connection of like this character stronger for those fans and also for newcomers and everything.
Mm-hmm. One thing I kind of like about Keanu's casting in the film that I think that I know is, I mean, bear with me. I think Keanu's line delivery throughout most films that he is in is always a little bit awkward. However, you just got to know what character he's playing. For like John Wick, he's not a man of words. So like when he speaks, it seems rusty. So I always imagine like he's not really used to talking to people. So for like Shadow here, he is this alien being. He doesn't really like people, so he's really like shut off. So like having Keanu's voice for this works for me in that it seems it's meant to be unnatural.
Exactly.
But I really think he nails the lines that are meant to be really beautiful. Like even though some stars die, you can still see their light. Like genuinely a pretty nice, like little nice message. And I think he like delivered that line very well. I think like throughout the movie, I feel like as not only the character kind of starts to talk to more people, his line delivery kind of just works better for me, or just his overall performance. Yeah, but then again, I also have a lot of problems with like the actors were working off each other. I think everybody except for one character, and we'll get to him, don't worry. I feel like everybody else doesn't know how to act with CG characters.
Okay, fair.
I think James Marsden and the character's wife, they've done it for 3 movies, so they kind of are getting better at like talking to the CG character that's here. But like sometimes I was just like, I feel like they're not really talking to anybody in the room except for like a tennis ball. And that's just me. I just felt like, okay, I'm having this weird disconnect here. Even though I really like Knuckles, like a lot of his lines are pretty funny, I do feel like each person that's voicing Sonic, Tails, or Knuckles are in their own booths and then have to kind of like awkwardly like match these lines as if they're in the same room or place. That kind of took me out of it because as some like Adrian, you also watch a lot of like anime and just animation in general, and you can tell when like line deliveries can seem a little bit off, when like you could tell that someone's more just saying the lines and not really like being the character.
Yeah.
I had a lot of that in this film. I really like James Short, or what's his name? The guy who plays Sonic.
Ben Schwartz.
Ben Schwartz. I like a lot. I really do think he's a great Sonic. Like that's the voice of Sonic for me now. Like a lot of his lines did feel like, who are you talking to here? Like, you're just kind of like saying random shit. That was a big problem for me in this movie, and it was kind of like a reason why I couldn't really get into anybody, because I was just like, I don't really feel like they're in the moment.
Okay. I mean, if you really like look at it more like in that perspective, yeah, I could see how some viewers could be thrown off. I personally, I don't know how Adrian you feel, but like I personally didn't really notice that as much. I was just focused more on just, I guess, the flow of the story. Does this make it from point A to point B in a way that is enjoyable by all?
Okay. Yeah, I came into the movie to enjoy the movie, not hyperanalyze it. So I was just enjoying the moment.
It's kind of why I go do this like to see all this kind of stuff. Even when I went to go see Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm like in back of my head, I'm like, I'm happy to see these characters I love. But I'm also there to be like, I gotta put my critique glasses on and be like, does this still work for like people who say have never seen an X-Men movie? But for this movie, I was like, okay. I just think I wasn't.
You just have let me nitpick. That's what you thought.
Well, you know what? I guess like there was nothing in the film that made me.
What you're saying is it's not for you.
No, yeah, and that's why I'm nitpicking. I'm just being that. But this is my opinion on the film. But I also.
That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just, that's fine. Like, I'm not saying that your guys' opinions are wrong. I'm just telling you what my opinion is. When I was watching this with you, Adrian, I was really happy that you were having fun with it.
Oh, I know. I will get into that eventually.
But for me, I was just like, all right, this is fine. This is fine. I was like, get to the next Dr. Robotnik, Gerald Robotnik, Ivo Robotnik, Eggman shit. AKA all the scenes with Jim Carrey. That's what worked for me in this film.
Well, he was probably the best one, in my opinion.
Yeah, he was the best part. I mean, everyone who worked with Jim Carrey, like, actually, I feel like enjoyed it, no matter if it was even like the CGI characters or the people in person. You could see that the chemistry there was strong, and like Jim Carrey just brings out his A game for this. I mean, especially since he's like, I'm not coming back to Hollywood unless it's a really good script.
I call bullshit on that line. I'm gonna be real with you. There was a lot of times I'm like, a good script, okay. I feel like
this one is more Keanu. Like, oh yeah, Keanu Reeves, I'm gonna come back.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, shit, man. I feel like for all my like gripes about like the voice acting and like the line deliveries and stuff like that, those all went away when Jim Carrey came on screen, because for some reason he just knows how to interact with every single thing around him to the best degree.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he was talking with Sonic, I believed he was there. Maybe it's just because he knew what kind of film he was in.
Yeah, I 100% follow that.
Wh-
He was enjoying it way too much, so he felt at home.
Mhm.
I guess that's tracing. He just kept bouncing off every single line.
Uh-huh.
Flowed so well. You didn't even notice, like, oh, he's even talking to himself or what's going on. No, he's just having too much fun with it.
You know what it is? I feel like whenever it's any other like human character on the scene, it's the human characters having to do what they're told based on what the CG character is going to have to do. Whereas when Jim Carrey's on the screen, it's the CG characters having to do whatever the fuck Jim Carrey is doing. So instead of it being like, okay, I guess we have to stand here because these are the things that are going to be here, it's more like Jim Carrey's like, move that thing out of the way because I'm dancing.
It's even better because he plays two characters.
Yes!
That's what I was gonna say. Not only did he have to play against like CG characters and other actors, he played against himself and still made it like so smooth flowing, so like built a chemistry between the two characters.
That's what I was going to say. He has chemistry with himself.
Yeah, when I talk to myself, people call me a schizophrenic. But when he does it.
Look, we don't have money to pay for your mental illness. I just feel like his line delivery was really fun for me. Like, I go to these Sonic films to see Jim Carrey have fun at this point.
Yeah.
Because that's just the more fun thing for me. Like, I love the running gag throughout all three of these films that he kind of gets this high off of licking Sonic's quills. Like, that's just funny to me.
The dance.
The dance. That's probably my favorite moment of the film. I can't tell if it's like actually him doing it or if they got like a double to do the dances.
Exactly. I fully believe he could do almost everything in that dance sequence except probably the split and the carry at the end. Everything else I firmly believe he could do.
Yeah, I was really confused. I was like, okay, is this him?
If he did the split, all power to him.
Yeah.
I honestly feel it was because I mean, look at how he did in Ace Ventura and in The Mask. I mean, yes, he is an older fellow now.
I was just about to say, I was like, two films that are in the same year in 1994.
Yes, he is an older fellow now, but I mean, look at like Tony Hawk. He can still do like his half pipe tricks and stuff at 55 right now.
Fair. I was also gonna say you can also look at Keanu Reeves.
Too.
Yeah, I'll be nitpicky about everything else in the film, like that's fine. But I don't care when it comes to like Jim Carrey. Those are the stuff where I'm like, I am having fun. Even the moments like with him and his little like friendship with I almost said Dr. Stone. Agent Stone. What?
The bromance there is strong.
Yeah. I really like those two. I also feel like what a really fun character in Agent Stone. I think I cracked up more when like they don't mention it, but like when they're like snooping through the bunker, he doesn't have a shirt on, but he still has the he still has the tie on.
The tie and the jacket.
I was like,
he turned to me and laughed.
I was like, that's so funny. Like you don't have to mention it; it's just there. And I was like, perfect. That's the kind of humor I'm here for. Like just.
I want to call back a little to our experience before that. When he first fought in Eggman. Slapping his belly and doing all that. I just looked at you.
Yeah, I know. I have a gut.
No, and then you told me, like, yeah, I do that.
Yeah, of course I do that. Fuck yeah, I do it.
Haha, I do that.
That's just funny to me.
I know. You asshole.
I want to go into Gerald. How about you guys?
Yeah, go into Gerald. I mean, it's still Jim Carrey.
Yeah, go same actor, different character.
Mm-hmm.
I just loved how he was the driving antagonist force for Shadow. It's like, I'm convincing you to commit sin.
Hey, Sonic, it's me, the devil.
He was just pushing Shadow to be evil instead of him thinking, oh, is this wrong? No, remember what you took from us. Commit sin. I just absolutely loved him as a villain.
Definitely. I loved, without going too deep into spoilers and stuff, I loved how, like you said, he was the driving force behind the Shadow's like rampage of everything, and basically was like, I need this guy to distract everyone so I could wreak havoc on the world.
Mm-hmm. I was a little afraid just because I don't know much about Gerald Robotnik from the games. I was a little worried. I was like, okay, I get that he's supposed to be integral to like Shadow's character, but I was a little worried about. I was like, is this just literally another Eggman, and that they both want to take over the world? But I was like, okay, like I can see how they made them different in that one wants to take over the world, one wants to destroy the world. I guess if I were to have any little nitpicks on that kind of stuff, I would wish they would have had more scenes with him and Maria.
Fair. I agree.
I agree with that, definitely. They could have done a lot more with that, but
Yeah.
I mean, with the time that they have, maybe that's the next TV show that they do, where it's more in depth of like
Oh,
Shadow's
shit.
time in the bunker.
I mean, but then you would have to have Jim Carrey for that.
True.
And I don't know if
Hey.
Jim Carrey would want to come back for an entire TV show of that.
Not necessarily. You don't need him necessarily. I mean, like if it just revolves around Maria, but I guess for your point of seeing his interaction with Maria and Shadow, that would make sense. Yeah.
Just to kind of make that motivation of like, I want to see the world burn hit more. Because he's literally meant to be a mustache twirling villain. Like, the mustache is like, it's like a big part of both characters. So I don't mind, like, it's not like a big nitpick as I had with like the line deliveries of the voice actors. But like, I just wish that we would have had one scene to kind of show why Maria was so important and why Ivo was just kind of a.
Well, Maria was his granddaughter, so if that's not important, like family, I don't know what.
Well, I thought that Ivo was Gerald's grandson as well.
Right, but I mean, like, it's the matter of like, who did you spend more time with? They're both his grandchildren, but there's like the thought of like, did he raise Maria himself? Like, was that his like connection to a daughter he lost or a son he lost?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I also kind of wanted them to go into this idea of like I know there's a clear difference between Maria and Ivo, but like I kind of wish they went a little bit more into like I had a sister or a stepsister or a half sister. What's going on here? Like I had another family member that this organization killed. Like they kind of just brushed past that. Now I know that's kind of a thing in the games as well.
Well, remember, Eggman doesn't really care for anyone but himself.
True, but
that's his entire character. He doesn't care about anyone else until Grandpappy showed up.
I guess
he could care less about Maria.
I guess.
Like, oh, that bitch. Yeah, I don't care.
When he saw himself in his grandfather and thought like that they were gonna be this dynamic duo.
In games, Maria and Eggman, there's no correlation. They don't like. There's no memory, no nothing, no interactions whatsoever.
Okay, I guess.
So that's kind of clear that up for you, since they're Sonic Adventure 2 shit.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as my knowledge goes, there's nothing between the two. There's not even a spark.
Really? Okay.
Hey, do we want to move Sonic? Because I think he is also a character too. We can talk about.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean,
yeah, sure. Let's talk about the main character.
Oh, we have to.
I know.
For time, we could also just talk about like the
Team
trio
Sonic
as a whole. Team
Yeah.
Sonic. Team Sonic, I very much enjoyed lines between each other. The dialogue I thought was fun. I loved how they work together, congruently use their powers together like they do in the games and stuff. So, I mean, there was a good dynamic between all three.
Mm-hmm.
I very much enjoyed Ben Schwartz, Idris Elba, and the third voice actor. I feel very bad for not knowing her name.
Name here.
I know she's the original voice actor from the video games, which I very much like.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
I think that's awesome. I think that it was just a great dynamic between the three. I felt good chemistry between all three. And I love the change in pace and feel from the like second to third act as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think I preferred the third act to this film compared to most. I mean, like
I feel like everyone does. Honestly.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because it was just like more Eggman, more of like the cool Sonic shit that I like, and also
the
maybe
race against the clock always gets people going.
True, very true. Maybe it's also because I was like, damn, we are this close to getting a good Dragon Ball movie now.
True. Every comment I see on social media is like, man, it's the closest thing we'll get the Goku, Vegeta, Dragon Ball to anything.
Scratching that itch of like, I kind of want to see a live action Dragon Ball, but I'm afraid of how they'd fuck it up. But I'm kind of glad that Sonic can just scratch this itch for now.
Oh, you've never watched the actual Dragon Ball movie?
There is no actual Dragon Ball movie, Nick.
It
There
doesn't
is
exist,
none.
Nick. There is no live action Dragon Ball.
Nothing came out in 2009.
There's no Dragon Ball movie in Boston, Say.
Yes. Back to this movie. Like, I thought all that action was pretty cool. I was like, okay, let's like pop off, like director Jeff Fowler. Good job. Like, you clearly like ever since like the second film, he was like, I can't wait to have two of these hedgehogs face off each other like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a small video of his interview on making this film.
Mhm.
A lot of his callbacks were like Shadow's movements. A lot of his scenes were all callbacks to the games, and he wanted to make sure that those callbacks were obvious, that all the OG fans will love. He dedicated a lot into making those references.
Mhm. They played the song that you like.
Yeah, they played "Live and Learn," which is a.
Live
Yeah,
and learn.
I heard the guitar. I was like, "There's no way." But then the lyrics kicked. I was geeking, dude. They had the strongest dap up in history.
Exactly.
Compare. Nothing can compare to the strength of that dap up. There is no competition. You name it, I'm a debunk you. Put it in the
Yeah.
comments, bitch.
Honestly, the whole movie, you could tell it's an anime fan directing this, or
Oh yeah.
taking a lot of time making sure like it's like those animes. I mean, we got the Akira slide in it.
Yeah.
Up a
Dragon
tower.
Ball fight.
Up a fucking tower. Nevertheless,
It's great.
Yeah. Because like we're in the age of people who grew up on Toonami.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, look, I am probably the most negative about this film. It's not going to make my top 10, but I'm never going to say it's a bad film. But at the end of the day, did I have fun? Yeah. And I think it's mostly because of golden hedgehogs and Jim Carrey.
very true. I know, Max. During the scene where they're dropping in Japan, you saw me absolutely geeking
Yes.
because they were playing my favorite band.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just glad they got the recognition. And but fun fact with that band, that's not their first time working on a Sonic project.
Really?
Really?
They made a song for Sonic Frontiers.
Oh no
Oh,
shit.
okay.
So it's not their first time working with Sonic. Fun fact. It's
Okay.
called Vandalize, I think. The band name is One OK Rock. It was just it's just my favorite band right now. And I was geeking.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
I love
Yeah.
the movie reference though. I mean, like, isn't that the exact line that takes place in Sonic Adventures 2 though?
Yes, like, oh, no movies, no food, yada yada. Yeah, straight out of Sonic Adventure 2, the opening scene. And then I also apparently Escape from the City played for a couple seconds.
I heard that. I definitely heard that.
Yeah, like I'm just kind of going off music, but like I absolutely love the music in this. It really helped build the scenes and everything.
Absolutely.
That's my little nitpick with that. So
Speaking of which, I know people have from my TikTok feeds and stuff. People were not a fan of this end credit scene.
yes, run it. Yeah,
I like
I don't
Jelly
know
Roll.
why.
I like Jelly
love
Roll.
Jelly Roll.
I like
Dude, this
Jelly
song was great. I was tapping my foot.
I love that song. I've been playing it even before this movie came out. I was playing it. It's on my loop of songs. I understand people have their hesitations because they think that they should have gone the rock route as Sonic Adventures 2. Yes,
Mhm.
but they're saying like they'd rather have songs like Kid Cudi's one for the end of Sonic 2.
I don't get the hate.
I don't get the
I don't
hate.
get the hate either.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would totally like going for the rock vibe personally, just because I feel like rock is better with Sonic, or that's kind of what I grew up with Sonic.
I just thought it was a good song, honestly.
Yeah,
Me
that was
too.
fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I
Plus
thought
the visuals to go with it, I think it all meshed
okay,
really well.
the visuals were a nice touch in that like you
Yeah.
don't ever see video game movies acknowledge that era of video games. It's always like 8-bit or modern day gaming. There's no in between to them. Getting to see the polygon versions of the characters was like, okay, this makes me feel like I'm playing like something on the PlayStation.
Yeah, it reminded me of another Sonic game that was 16. I think it was called like Sonic Fighters or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It looked exactly like that.
Yeah, I was
You know,
like,
I love that.
This is cool. I like that they're acknowledging this era. But I honestly thought you guys were going to talk about the other post credits. I mean,
So the first one, I mean,
They look great.
I was very happy. I mean, I'm glad they're not doing the MCU axing of just killing off characters for no fucking reason.
Yep.
So I'm just happy that they're gonna bring them back for more.
oh, Shadow.
Shadow,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I was like, well, I mean,
Oh, I thought we were talking about first.
I thought we were talking about the first one. First one.
Yeah,
Is that not the first one?
that was the
That
second
was
one.
the second one.
Oh, my mistake.
First one is we get 2 reveals.
I mean, if we
Yeah,
want to talk
yeah,
about the Shadow
okay.
one, like I was like, he ain't dead.
Yeah.
No.
Ain't no fucking way they killed that character off.
Oh,
Now,
can't.
if he's alive, 100% Jim Carrey's alive. He probably is just on another planet or something. Like,
Yeah, no way he's dead.
I don't fucking believe it.
Yeah,
okay, so all right, let's go to the first one then.
yeah. I
They
mean,
look good.
Big,
They look
very
great.
happy.
I mean, yeah. Like the first thing we get is like Sonic's running. He gets to like the New York, what was it, like New York Forest or something like that.
Yeah.
He ran far, and then from behind you see Metal Sonic, and it's ripped right from the game.
He looks so good.
Mhm.
It looks so good.
They gave him the arm gun. I was so happy.
Yeah.
I was like very happy about that, but then they kind of killed him off pretty quick. I was like, well, okay, I guess that's like.
They
I
didn't
know.
kill him.
I know. It's an it's an Ultron situation. I was like, okay, cool. Like, there's more
But
than
he
just
didn't
one.
didn't even destroy that one though.
Yeah, they didn't destroy the main one. Only the clones got destroyed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he got knocked back. The real one got knocked back.
Oh, my bad. Never mind.
You watch that scene again really closely. Like, yeah, it's easy to miss. I missed it until I saw it again.
Oh, okay, my bad.
But I know for sure he wouldn't die right there. He's too important to kill off right at the end credit scene.
But I was like, okay, I guess this is gonna be the next movie, and I was like, well, I'm kind of curious how this end credit's gonna end because like they're setting up a lot just to be like, and see it in Sonic 4. I was like, how are they gonna
Right.
wrap this scene up? And I was like, okay. Then you see the hammer, and
Which
I
you've
was
never seen it
Yes,
used that way
cool.
before.
true. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, of course they had to bring her in, Amy.
I mean, she's pretty important to like lore wise.
Oh yeah, I was shocked. I was kind of shocked they didn't bring her in this film. Now I know that it would have been a really packed film if that were the case, but I'm kind of glad that they're like saving her for her own film.
Yeah.
Like they did in Sonic 2, they brought in 2 characters at the same time. They brought Tails
True.
and Knuckles. With this storyline and everything, it was very important just to have the one character, Shadow, so
Yeah.
that was important.
Yeah.
Well,
This
technically,
next one, I don't think Amy's going to be the only one. I could definitely see them bringing in someone like Blaze or Cheese.
Well, I feel like if you bring in Blaze, you kind of have to bring in Silver.
True, that is true.
Because if we're going Sonic Heroes, that's a deep dive.
Or no, not. I'm
or
sorry.
Sonic
not
06.
Blaze.
Sonic 06.
Blaze was the wrong name.
No,
I'm
we do not bring in Sonic 06.
I'm talking about Rouge actually.
Yes. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, Rouge.
I was
Bring
thinking.
in Rouge
Heroes.
and bring in Cheese or something.
Yes, because we already got the chows technically.
Now I have a question, and this is generally like a pretty general question. Do you want them to keep staying in our world, quote unquote? I would kind of like it now that we're opening up more characters if they were to go back to the, I don't know what world the name of the world is.
Well, they don't really specify, but it's Morbius, I think.
What?
I think that'd be cool. What if they did like a situation where like Eggman is in that universe
That'd be cool.
and they have to go back there?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool with me. One, I think we've kind of gotten to the point where like we don't know what to do with our human characters.
I think we're at that point too.
Yeah, because at this point I was like, okay, you can't really do much with Tom.
Yeah, because that you saying that reminded me of Sonic X and how much I just did not care for Chris.
True.
Yeah.
I absolutely hated him. He was a crybaby bitch.
Because I just don't want this franchise to go the way of like the Transformers movies.
Where it's more focused on the humans than the actual
Yeah.
Transformers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like and
And I think they did that well in this movie compared to the last one too.
Oh yeah.
that's fair. I already feel like they look cartoony enough to be like if you were to just full send it and go to their world, like it wouldn't be too much of a stretch. But yeah.
I mean,
I
that
think
make a lot of sense story wise as well. I mean,
Yeah.
then you
Mhm.
can honestly go the route of like, oh, Robotnik is in this world
Mhm.
taking over, and they have to stop him.
I think that'd be
'Cause he-
cool.
he realized he can't take off over our world, so he has to go to another one.
That works. That's cool.
Because adding in that part is we were shown Metal Sonic, so it's like, where the fuck did he come from?
Right.
True.
So we can also build off that as well, like adding into that.
Mhm.
So
Let's play some fan casting. Who do you want to play Amy?
Definitely not Aquafina.
nope, I'm had enough of that.
I was
I'm
gonna
just
say,
you need like a somewhat bratty character.
I saw Anna Kendrick as a fan casting. I thought that would actually work a little more. Think of her like in Trolls, her character in that.
oh yeah.
She has the very sunshiny, bright, very poppy like voice that she can do that.
Or I mean, they did it for Tails, so why not do it for Amy too? Just bring back the original.
That would work really well too. Honestly.
That would work.
I mean,
Well, they go for big names with these movies.
Right.
So that's what I'm thinking. Like, they want to go for a big name. But I'm trying to think of, like, who's, like, a big voice actor name. Like,
I mean, I'm for Anna Kendrick.
I'm for
She's
Annie.
very good.
I'm good with that, too.
it just seemed right compared to what they've been doing for a lot of the other movies, where like they're throwing in these like characters who really don't fit well with the these actors not fitting well with the characters.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, like that one just feels better to me.
I don't know why, but when one of you said Brat, I immediately was just like, oh, so you mean Charlie XCX?
Oh, jeez.
Mm.
I mean, I kind of have a wild card. Io Adaberry. Oh, but no, she's already voicing April in the Ninja Turtles. For
This is the
Amy.
new one, right?
Yeah, this is the new one. Yeah.
Not the be rude. The Black April.
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah. I don't
Okay.
think you're being rude. That's fine. I think
I'm sorry. Like, I just had to point it out. I wanted to be specific.
no, you're good. You're good.
I don't want to be racist.
The black one.
I don't want to be racist again. I think she definitely had to change her tone a lot. But I do like her voice acting. It is very fun.
No, I just think of her characters in like I watched this movie called Bottoms, and she's very funny in that film and very energetic. And like it's a pink hedgehog. You don't really need to go for like
Yeah.
it could be anybody.
I mean, you just
As
need to
long as
nail
they
the
can have a
personality.
bubbly personality and
Uh-huh.
deliver lines where it seems very sweet and cutesy, but also like semi-psychotic a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. I think she'd be great. She kind of fits that a little bit.
Okay.
I was also thinking like when you said like the very cutesy, dainty kind of voice, I was like, well, I mean, we just saw, like Wicked just happened to like Ariana.
Definitely not her. I would
No,
not.
absolutely not. No.
The only reason why I would say there's a chance in hell is that she loves Jim Carrey. And
Okay.
that would be the thing would be like, oh, finally they get a movie together.
I don't care.
I can't do that.
No. I don't care about her feeling.
All right. I think that's enough for this video.
Crimea River. I kind of want to throw in something else I saw online for a fan casting.
mhm.
It's very far off that this will happen, just based on how the movies are going. But someone said Hayden Christensen for Silver the Hedgehog.
I would love that. I honestly would love that. I mean, yes, he was original fan cast for Shadow. I thought that would have been great.
Yeah, dude, I would have loved that.
That would have been amazing too.
Yeah, that would have been fun. It would have been nice to
But-
just see him in something big again.
Yeah.
But definitely works for Silver as well. I would think that would work really well too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've said our piece, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Very fun.
I
Very
had a
fun
lot-
movie.
I'll say this. I mean, I'll let you guys wrap it up. But again, I had fun with it. Wasn't great film in my opinion, but from what I had fun with, I had fun with.
I say it was pure cinema all around.
Exactly.
I had fun. I enjoyed it very much. And thank you for letting me talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, had a whole lot of fun. Had a great time getting all the references throughout the film, all the small little Easter eggs. So, just had an amazing time reliving childhood.
Right now, I believe our next video. Well, it's kind of up in the air at the moment of like who will send me what first. But we should have some reviews being sent to me. Some solo reviews from like Joelle and Emily. But our next video that should be coming up on our channel that I can definitely assure you will be coming up is our top 10 best and worst of 2024. So that's gonna be fun. But yeah, also we got a lot of things in store for 2025. Let me know if you guys want me to make a video telling you all that we have in store, because it's a lot.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Max Colorhalls, and today with me I had...
Nicholas Spiro.
And Adrian.
All right. Like, subscribe, and share, and have a good day. Bye.
Is water wet?